Gruesome Magazine.
Hello once again, I'm your host Doc Rodden, and this is Gruesome Magazine, where we review the very latest on streaming and video on-demand horror movies. Each week my co-host Jeff Mohr, Crystal Cleveland, Dave Dreher, Christopher G. Mohr, and myself will take a look at various spooky, scary, and gory genre offerings. Tonight we are taking a look at Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, Episode 3, streaming now on Apple TV. But before we get into the review, let me introduce my co-host, starting off with the only man you ever need to co-host a podcast is Jeff Mohr. How you doing, sir?
It's not what his wife says.
Yeah, I really hope we were going to record a podcast because I wasn't sure.
I don't know where I was going.
Yeah.
I wasn't really sure, too, when I was saying. But anyway, also joining us is the one and only Dave Dreher.
Hello, guys. How's everybody today? Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving? Yeah,
Yes.
Did we?
Roger
Yes,
that.
yes.
Was it monstrous?
It
See
was.
what I did there?
It was full of turkey. Oh, turkey. A lot of stuffing.
There's turkey involved.
Yes.
Yep, always.
Yeah,
Gravy
For all
too.
those that aren't stateside,
Don't forget the gravy.
You know what turkey, Thanksgiving is. All right. Also joining us is our guest host, the one and only Chad Hunt, comic book artist and co-host of Decades of Horror, and a writer and director as well. How you doing, Chad?
I'm good. Just keep it going while I put some chapstick on.
Oh, wow. Okay. One of us is doing that. All right. Wow, this guy. All right, that's what.
Well, when you said Jeff's the only man
south.
I'll ever need, I was just getting ready. I was just getting ready, you know.
Oh man. Right, that's it. Good night. Ready? No, all right, we are here.
You got to be more specific.
We're here to review Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, Kaiju on TV, stateside, not in a Toho feature. Oh my gosh, that's hard to believe we got it outside of a cartoon, which is about the only thing we've seen before, right, Chad?
Yeah.
And a couple of those. But this is going to be
Godzuki.
fun. We hope that you have caught our previous review of Godzuki, of episodes 1 and 2, which landed last week and this week. Although it had a special date, I didn't catch that, and it came out like the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, but we weren't prepared for that, so shoot me. All right, but let's get into this. What we're going to do is give you our first impression of episode 3, and then we'll get into a discussion. The first impression will be spoiler-free, by the way. Discussion, we'll get into spoilers, and then we'll wrap things up with a score 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. And we hope that you enjoy not only this review, but many others. Please check them out. And if you do like them, please hit the like, subscribe, share with a friend buttons. Each click helps us find more horror fans just like you. And for those that have upped our click count, thank you. We're getting there. Keep at it. Keep pushing the buttons. All right, let's take a look at the card here. All right, Monsters of Legacy. How you like that?
Yeah.
Yay! Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. Apple TV, available streaming beginning November 17, 2023. The synopsis for episode 3 is Secret and Lies. Shaw leads the team on a dangerous mission to Alaska in search of Hiroshi. Keiko, Lee, and Billy present their findings to General Puckett. Directed by Julian, Holmes, written by Chris Black, Matt Fraction, Andrew Colville, and Mariko Tamaki. The cast includes Anna Sawai, I feel like that's wrong, Kirstie Clemens, Ren Watabe, Mary Yamamoto, Anders Holm, Joe Tippett, Wyatt Russell, Kurt Russell, Takahiro Hira, Kyoko Kudo, and Christopher Heyerdahl.
Terrible job. Terrible.
Christopher Heyerdahl, not full of marbles, who plays the General Puckett and is quite good in this episode. We'll start off there. All right, let's find out what our first impressions were, starting off with the one and only Dave Dreher.
Oh, look at that. We did a switcheroo. I thought they were going to Chad and switched it at the last minute.
Not gonna let you have that easy. Keep you on your toes. All right.
Third episode in, right? And we picked right up where episode 2 left with
exactly right
Russell and the gang escaping the Monarch compound, and off we go to Alaska. I really enjoyed this episode. This was a really, really quick watch for me. I mean, I couldn't believe the episode was over already. when it came up to the ending, I'm like, what? I felt like I only watched it for 10 minutes. I thought this was a really fun episode. I liked it. We get a little bit of Godzilla, kind of following the same formula. A little bit of Godzilla action at the start, and then some kind of new monster at the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the end, a little bit of action in there. I love Kurt Russell's inclusion in here now. We're seeing much more of Kurt, a little bit less of Wyatt, and Kurt Russell always had he just brings a certain energy to anything he's in. And just to hear him laughing maniacally as he was driving that car around, you can't help but freaking smile. So I like this. I'm already excited for episode 4. This is one of those ones I wish we weren't waiting for weekly installments. I'd like to kind of sit down and binge watch this.
You'd like to binge it, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Kurt Russell goes, the check is in the mail. All right. Somebody will get that reference. Chad Hunter, what was your first impression of episode 3?
My first impression was if they ever did another escape movie, all he needed was an eye patch. Kurt Russell
Landed that plane, yes.
and escape from Monarch. Somebody called John Carpenter, but another. I'm pretty much in Dave's camp. It was still a pretty interesting, a little more action all around this time. Monsters and humans, them escaping. That's not a spoiler, I hope. But
not anymore.
Oh well, that's why they have me on. But great. Kurt Russell was great. The new monsters are great. I love the whole thing when they went to Alaska, and they're uncovering a mystery. It seems like of where is Hiroshi, and I'm digging that a lot. It's really, really good. This was action-packed, kept my interest the whole time, and I'm loving it. And you're getting little bits and pieces as you go of everything that's going on and happening with the flashbacks and everything. And just another great episode.
Another great episode, he says. Jeff, what is your first impression of Monarch Legacy of Monsters, episode 3?
Well, I dug it a lot. It's a great continuation of what we've seen so far. Like Dave said, it picks right up where the other one leaves, like exactly. And we get a new kaiju, which I don't think that's a spoiler. It's in the picture for the episode. So there was one thing that happened that I questioned. I know it seems like an oxymoron to question the reality of something in the kaiju movie, and I'll leave it till later to bring it up and see what you guys say. But otherwise, I thought it was great. I thought it was absolutely great. It's like it just keeps coming at you, bang, 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 and lots of cool action, like both of you guys said.
Yeah.
When people die.
Oh. Wow.
That's the best part.
That's a
Wow.
downer.
That's a
Yes.
spoiler.
You're not wrong. This seemed much livelier than the past 2 episodes. Not that I minded, because I really enjoyed the last 2 episodes, because we're establishing these characters, and that's what you get when you do these properties on TV. You get the opportunity to explore a little more, and which has worked out well because now I care about these characters. So I'm gonna be able to watch the entire 10 episodes without going, just hurry up with the monsters, right? Because now I'm invested. And Kurt Russell adds so much to this series. There is, I think you said it, Dave. There's an energy that when he's on screen that is quite unique and special. That you can just, it just does. He's charismatic and hilarious, and he's definitely heroic in the film, and he's shot very cinematically as well. Like I said last week when they introduced him, and of course he gets to do all the action. Well, his character, stuntman, and although there is something we got to talk about, and it might be the same thing Jeff's going to talk about because I don't think it lines up. So there's some shenanigans going on and I think they hinted at those shenanigans, but we'll get to that here in a minute. But in the end, I love this. There's, of course, we get a little, like you said, get a little bit of Godzilla in the flashback. Lot to talk about there, a lot to unpack, and then we get the new creature in Alaska, who is quite frightening. One of the more frightening kaiju with a very chilling power. We'll get to all that if you watched it, which we know you have.
Chilling
you
power.
know what I'm talking about. But let's go ahead and get into spoilers because we've got to talk about some stuff, and I want to bring up something first.
Okay.
And the thing I want to bring up first, and Jeff, if this is yours, I'll shut up and you can take over. When they asked Lee Shaw, Kurt Russell, about his past and everything, and how they came up with Monarch, they basically say that he would be like 90, and he says something about kept up for his age. No, I mean he's not 90. And there's some age shenanigans going on, and I
thought we kind of figured that out before, but
did we?
That isn't what I was going to say. But well, look, if he was like in his early 20s in 1953, then you're right, he would be in his 70s. It'd be like 53 to 2015 would be 60 years later.
So he'd be in his 80s.
So he'd be in his 80s, yeah.
Yeah. No.
Well, maybe there'll be some explanation there.
How old is Kurt Russell actually? I mean, actual Kurt Russell, how old is he? He's got to be pushing 80, right?
He's 70. I think he's like 70.
Well,
Almost
you might
close to 70.
Because he was, well, yeah, that might be right. Yeah, because I remember him as a child actor.
I think he's less than 70. Oh, no, 72.
Oh wow, yeah, because he's born in 51. So I don't know, I guess, but I mean,
maybe they were just.
I feel like there's some shenanigans because the Bill character looks like John Goodman in the 70s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, there's
Well,
somebody aged a little faster than the other did.
Well, not just wait a minute. Maybe we'll come up with some.
Maybe he's the recipient of some kind of Godzilla cell treatment or something.
Yeah, maybe there's some kind of suspended animation or time travel.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Doing the Captain America thing. Huh?
Hence shenanigans.
Oh, okay.
You are coming up with the shenanigans. There is some kind of went down into the center of the earth for a while, came back up, and
either that or they just called attention to it just to sort of
because they figured the more astute fans would already be picking up on it.
I'm still not buying. There's got to be an explanation.
Yeah. No, my thing was the atomic blast. That there was no shockwave that hit those guys that were watching it.
Not like you would
They weren't
expect.
that far away.
I was gonna say they were pretty goddamn close, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a little bit. They did have a little bit of a poof. Not like you would expect them all to be knocked over.
So I was just reading about that. There is an actual. I mean, this was an actual test.
Right.
They're calling it
Bikini.
And
Island,
it was like
the Bikini Atoll. Yeah.
Yeah, 15 megaton blast, 3 times as big as planned on March 1st, 1954. Radioactive debris spewed by the blast contaminated 23 crew members on a Japanese fishing boat 80 miles away. So
they looked a tad closer than that.
They did. So I would have, at the very least, I would have expected like a big, force blast that pushed them back in their chairs or something. But
that close, it would have definitely
blow their
I
hair.
got a couple wisp of air, but I thought they were. I don't know, that island was pretty far away. I was thinking it was a couple hundred miles, but I'm not good. I'm not good with age.
Binoculars.
But I know. But
they don't have 100-mile binoculars, Doc. I'm sorry.
I don't know what they have and what they don't have. I mean, there's nothing in the way.
Anyway, that was my one thing. I was a little bit taken by the plane landing, but at second thought, I dug it. That's kind of like you're landing in snow. Like, but it's probably pretty hard packed and maybe even ice. So yeah, it probably.
If Indiana Jones can get away with flying out of a plane in a blow up raft, thousands of feet from the air.
Good point. Good point.
So I ended up I went with that one, but
yeah, they kind of stretched things a little bit this episode, but it didn't stop my enjoyment of it at all.
No,
any of it.
I actually didn't think I neither of those things you brought up even registered to me. I kind of thought it was kind of funny that they addressed the age thing a little bit because we talked about it last time, and I was just like, oh, that's just them kind of saying,
acknowledging and going on about their way.
Stop worrying about it. Shut up and enjoy it. You know,
probably is what they're doing.
Something tells me it's not a major plot point of this series.
What's that?
His age.
His age.
Oh, his age. Yeah. Okay.
Just go with it. It's Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
That was a great meld into from his face into
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was
that
absolutely.
was
yeah, the fadeaway was perfect.
Yep, for sure.
It just there's so much. You just see so much of Kurt and Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so much. Not entirely. There is a little bit of difference, but man, it's when they do.
But we do get a different. So the first two episodes we saw, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, we had 1959 and 1952. This time we get 1954. Mm-hmm. So things have progressed. And it shows how they end up getting hooked up with the military and get duped into, accepting that money without realizing the cost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But they got it, though. They got a blank check, basically, right?
Blank check. Go out and find more.
Now, that is... Did we ever find out... I guess that's what we're going to find out during these episodes, but what happened with Godzilla between then and San Francisco?
Well, I assume that Godzilla just absorbed it all and went back underwater before they could...
Yeah, they don't really tell us yet, but we know from the movie, right? The very first movie that obviously he comes back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So...
It probably fed him for a little while, and he went back into hibernation or something.
But they don't really address it here. I mean, they make it sound like he's dead because they,
right.
Well, they think he is. Yeah, they definitely think he is.
But they do mention that they feed off the radiation. So, although the military never let that stop them. Information.
And how good did Godzilla look too? Huh? I think this is the best looking Godzilla. It was really so impressive shots.
Rearing up out of the water. The CGI is amazing.
Shots. Yeah.
Right?
For a TV show, good gosh.
Well, they already have the models, right? So
yeah. It just looked really great though.
The one
on a 4K TV, it's like holy shit.
Yeah. The one where it's showing the water running down his tail, and he's just a straight up shot. It's great looking. But I thought he'd walk out of that explosion cloud and just start blasting everybody on the beach.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, because he was walking up to that bomb like he was gonna, shadow box it or something. Because he's just kind of walking up, going, "Hey, check this fucking thing out," and and then it exploded.
Like he's gonna eat it or something.
Yeah. So, because I was kind of thinking the same thing that he's gonna get pissed off and go on a rampage or something, right? But
yeah, because he doesn't really in the movie, he doesn't really get going until the other Mutos get loose, right?
Yeah, right exactly.
So my question is, do you think are we going to get more Godzilla in the past, or are we going to get more Godzilla in the 2015 present, the recent past?
Yes.
You think we're going to in both?
I think it's going to stay, because we really didn't. There was really nothing said about Godzilla showing up between then and the 2015 movie.
Right.
Matter of fact, all they did was they showed the Bikini Atoll footage and the fins going through the water. But I think the last time he attacked, or they thought he was around, was then. That's what I thought. Mm-hmm. But because Kong and all that other stuff takes place afterwards.
Yeah, the Skull Islands in the 70s.
Yeah. What's Jeff looking at me like that for?
No, I'm just thinking. I'm thinking about the movies and the timelines and stuff. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, Kong took place. Kong Island's in the 70s, and then King Kong versus Godzilla was present day, and then King of Monsters is present day.
which is after. See, they don't have to deal with King Kong, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, or Kong versus Godzilla, because it's after 2015.
Right. 2015.
Actually, but Kong Skull Island took place in, gotcha.
70s.
Yeah, in the 70s.
Clear as mud.
Well, I did want to mention the guy playing the general. He is amazing, and I've seen him in other stuff.
He always plays a creepy.
Oh, he does.
He'd make a good. Yeah, he'd
Supernatural. Didn't he do?
Yeah.
Like the devil or something in Supernatural. What is he in Supernatural? He's Death, right? Isn't he?
Thought he was dead.
He was in.
He'd make a good Lurch from the Adams.
Well, he was in Hell on Wheels. I think you watched that, Chad. Had Anson Mount.
Yeah.
And he played this evil Scandinavian guy that was just the Swede. They called him the Swede.
The Swede.
Anyway.
Yeah, he was good in that.
He's got the
no
demeanor.
Swedes blew it up.
He got a big kick out of that explosion, didn't he?
Yeah.
We have a different director for this one than the first two.
We do indeed. Alrighty. Is he the only addition to the cast? Well, no, we get the friend who flies the plane.
Do-Ho.
Yeah.
The South Korean fellow who
Do-Ho.
On ice.
He didn't last long.
No.
Yeah.
He's
definitely a red shirt.
Is he dead, or just like is he frozen hibernation, or what do you think?
I don't know. We don't really know about this monster.
Froze him up pretty good.
He looked pretty cold. Yeah, he definitely looked pretty cold.
Mm-hmm.
But it happened pretty fast, so could he be?
We determined it's called the Frostvark.
Frostvark.
The Frostvark. Yes.
Who determined that?
I think Apple executives.
The Frostvark.
The Frostvark.
Matt Fraction did.
Yeah, Matt Fraction probably.
Yeah, we didn't get to talk about Matt Fraction there, comic book man. Do you want last episode? Do you want to bring up some Matt Fraction goodies here?
Yeah, Matt Fraction was a writer for Marvel Comics, and I think he did some stuff for DC. But he
did some DC stuff. Yep.
He's most famous for his Hawkeye miniseries and Iron Fist miniseries, and he's an offbeat kind of writer. So the stuff he's writing now for this, if he is sort of more down to earth, mainstream kind of stuff.
That's pretty interesting. That the Godzilla stuff is more down to earth.
Yeah. I mean, the stuff he did for, like especially the Iron Fist thing, was all mystical and showing where Danny Rand came from, Iron Fist came from, and all that. So it was the mystical city of Kunlun and all that. So there was a lot of that stuff. So seeing this is where he's just showing two big monsters, or Godzilla fighting and tearing stuff up. It's kind of weird, but hey, it pays the bills. Go ahead, go for it.
Yes, exactly.
But he's a great writer. He's a great writer.
That fits in because the director for this episode and I think the next one is Julian Holmes. And he directed an episode of Iron Fist and an episode of Daredevil and American Gods, Lost in Space, The Boys.
Wow.
Definitely
sci-fi guy.
Yeah. Sounds perfect.
That's a good one. I thought it was great. I love the sequence where everybody else goes to investigate this tent that Hiroshi was in. That they figure he was in. They find the wood shavings of the pencil. So check off wood shavings. They talked about it at the beginning. So anyway, I liked how Do-Ho then goes back out and he's just kind of walking around and he sees this frayed tether in the snow that they had used to tie the first plane down. And that's when it hits him that, oh shit, this did not crash. It landed. And then ended up like this. So he goes back up to the plane, and that's when he finds the, the claw rips through the side of the fuselage, and he immediately screams, "Time to go," or something like that.
Yeah, so we gotta go.
Just like Chad.
Just like Chad.
He had to go.
Without the screams.
I thought that was great. There was no screwing around. He didn't waste any time, and even then, it didn't
help.
get him out of there fast.
Didn't help.
Yeah.
So now they're stuck. I guess they have to find
Yeah. Now they're kind of screwed.
But you got to think. I mean, even though it was a lot of, I mean, it was still 45 minutes, but that storyline had a lot going on, but it really progressed just a very little bit comparatively, to like the other storylines, right? Because they escaped and then traveled to South Korea and then got on a plane to go back to Alaska.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Hopefully Chad will make his way back in here. We'll get our score 1 to 5 and our favorite scene. Dave, start us off.
Yeah, it's a great show. They're maintaining their storyline well. It keeps progressing, and they leave us with a nice cliffhanger each episode. So I'm anxiously awaiting episode 4 for sure. I'm going to give that. I don't remember what I rated the first two, so I have no idea. But I'm going to give this a 4.25. And I had a lot of fun with it. Favorite scene? Do we do favorite scene?
We do
Did
favorite
you say
scene?
favorite scene? Okay. I'm going to go with those towering shots of Godzilla. I thought they were just so freaking impressive looking when we get the almost looks like a drone shot of like traveling up Godzilla's back and stuff. It was actually beautiful. It really was. Yeah, that's it. Really all I got to say. I'm liking this a lot. It's a lot of fun. More Kurt. Give us more Kurt.
More Kurt. I think we're going to get plenty of Russells. Jeff, your score 1 to 5, your favorite scene.
I think I'll go 4.5. And favorite scene, God, there's so many I could pick from, but I think I'm going to take a character scene where when Duho and Kate are in the front seat of the bamboo. What was that called? The bamboo goose.
The bamboo.
They had a name for that plane. It was a weird. That plane was a wood and aluminum tubing plane. That was a Cessna was the company that made it. But anyway, when she's sitting with Duho and he's kind of getting her getting her out of her funk a little bit, about her dad and that stuff, and then followed directly by Shaw, Kurt Russell, jumping into the seat to do the seat of your pants flying, and that thing with the bottle. I mean, and he does a little development with her to get her to buy into what's going on. She's real resistant up until now. So anyway, I enjoyed that. I thought that was I wanted her to get her head out of her butt and start taking part.
I like the bottle part where he goes, "Take a sip. You're gonna need it," and he goes, "It's just water." He goes, "All right." It was pretty interesting the way he did it. And didn't he? That's when he cackled too, right? When they landed. Or
Yeah.
when he was driving.
Just having a grand old time.
You know how Kurt Russell laughs. All right, I'm enjoying the hell out of this. I'm a real huge fan of the Monsterverse, and this complements the movies extraordinarily well. We've got the characters are well worth being invested in. The effects are fantastic. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. 4.5. I'm going to stick with it. I'm waiting for the 5 moment. Haven't gotten a 5 moment yet, but I'm waiting on it. What did you give it, Jeff? I can't remember.
I gave it 4.5 this time, and 5's the first time, and the 4.5 is still. I mean, I'm telling you, to me that was a major flaw, not having some reaction
on the
for
beach.
The atomic blast. Yeah,
I thought it would, at least a little bit more wind, but whatever. So my favorite scene, there's a couple of them I can go with. I'm going to go with the attack on the, what'd you call the new airplane? What was it called?
It was called a Bombay something. I don't have it right. It's not the bomb or bamboo goose. It's bamboo something or another.
Okay, but anyway, that the whole scene of the frost. What did we say? Frost Vark coming up out of the ground.
It's a
and
bamboo
attacking-
bomber. That's
Is
what
it?
it's called.
Coming up out of the ground and attacking the ship and then freezing the guy.
Oh, yeah.
It was intense. It was intense, and it ended with our crew looking at you kind of get this oh shit vibe from it all, right? So awesome, good stuff. Great
Good
cliffhanger
stuff.
to it, right?
Agreed.
Yeah, it was. And it gave me a real cringe when it spins around and we find out what its superpower is. That kaiju.
Superpower.
That's a tough
Super
one to fight.
kaiju.
It's kind of hard to fight freezy breath.
Yes, freeze your breath. Unless you're Superman. Right? Where's Superman? All right, well, that's it. That's our review. Monarch Legacy of Monsters, Episode 3. We'll look forward to tackling Episode 4 next week as we get this each and every Friday for 10 episodes. Oh, boy.
Yeehaw.
We got to wait a little longer this time. We got this one a little early because of the Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I still didn't get to watch it until Friday, but yep. All right, guys. So that's it. Let's Dave, Jeff, and Chad, wherever you may be. Thank you for joining me.
In the nether.
Inner nethers.
Yeah. I'm digging it.
All right, let's say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.